series that I will be doing in Octopath Traveler. Um, I've already kind of decided on one of the two characters that I'll probably be playing. Teresa here or Cyrus. I'll go into small detail on each of these. Um, so Teresa is a merchant. Merchant basically allows you to collect money in battle. You also have the path action purchase, which in some cases isn't. We'll be using it on an occasion throughout. Of course, you'll be using all. Um, you can swap characters if you do not have or you do not start with her. If you do start with her, you have to complete her entire um, 4 chapters, and then you can actually take her off for your party. Um, Teresa is really, really good early, having access to uh, spears, bows, and wind magic. Um, as well as a skill called Collect, which allows you to potentially get money from each battle. Um, well, besides finishing them, of course. Um, she's decent, but I don't think I want to start with her only because there is a huge reason. Cyrus is a great start. He is a scholar, which uses staffs as well as he has access to fire, ice, and lightning magic. And just to put it mildly, a lot of enemies are weak to all that. He also has Analyze, or as when he enters battle, his talent, Study Foe, allows him to see one of the enemy's weaknesses, which, quite frankly, is ridiculously good. Being able to see whatever enemy weaknesses you want is outstanding. So I'll probably end up using him as the main character, but I'll still go over everyone else. Going counterclockwise, still, we have Ophelia, who is a cleric. Her weapon and magic is, well, staffs as well as light magic, and then also healing. Per- she's decent, to say the least. She's kind of the hard challenge, kind of. Because, well, depending on who you go after. It's nice to have a healer, but as your main, she's not particularly great to start. Still doable. Pretty much everyone is. It's just having an easier time when you go with either one of these two. Her path is, we'll leave it at interesting. Next, Hana is the hunter. a outstanding class, early to mid, from what I've seen. And having animal companions to summon during battle, which is kind of fun. Unlike the second game, this class really isn't particularly good, I guess. They are okay. As a subclass, it is a very, very good one. You'll see one of these characters utilizing it quite often for me. Other than that, her path is a fun story. I heavily debated on using her as the main character, then going to Ophelia, and then grabbing Cyrus, and then pretty much swerving over here to a really good character. And more than likely, when taking on super bosses, will be in your party. He's good. Very good. But I'll probably end up getting her at some point after Cyrus. She does help him in situations. Like I hinted, when taking on the super bosses, he is almost a must. As well as a good character in general. He's just strong. Therian, the thief. His path action is steal. He also he can also do a tremendous amount of damage, and then as well as in battle can steal from enemies. He has actual magic, as well as using swords and daggers, with the dark magic. He's one of my favorite characters. And coupled with one of the sub or optional classes makes him a ridiculously strong character. After him, we have Alphen, who is the apothecary. He's the other healer. Apothecary in this game, I've done well with it, but I could see it being hard because always having to have stuff that heals. Or you have to decide, do you want to be the healer or do you want to do damage? His weapon, I believe, is only axes. Which, to be fair, axes are a really good weapon to have. Could be better, could have more, but what he doesn't have in weapons, he can use his concoctions or his alchemy, so to speak. He's a really good character. unfortunately, where he is located is kind of a hard, um, no matter which way you go from where I'm starting, he is going to be number 4 or number 5. Not the best. Um, One of the only other characters to be able to use dark magic, Primrose, the dancer. Uh, Dancers use daggers. Shocker. But um, are pretty decent, actually. They can do a tremendous amount of damage. Uh, their summon command is pretty good. And her story is a very interesting one to say. Uh, More than likely, probably will have her alternating in and out. Of course, you only have access to 4 of the 8, but you can have all 8. At which point you can basically switch out. After her, a character that's probably going to stay on your team for pretty much the entire game because how ridiculously amount of damage this guy can do is Ulbrich. He is going to basically be on your team almost all the time. Yes, I know you could probably use him as your main and do really well. But I kind of prefer these two because they are path actions. Not to say that he's not good. He is. And more than likely, how I'm going to do this is go up to Ophelia from Cyrus, go back down to get Tressa, and then go down and grab Ulbrich. The warrior class uses swords and spears. Coupling that with they can have a secondary job. If you put him with the hunter, he has swords, spears, axes, and bows. So he covers 4 of the 6 weapons. At which point, having a staff, or actually, probably just honestly go down this way. And no, let's just go ahead and start with Cyrus. And for the most part, you'll hear them voice acting, so I'll be quiet. Hmm. 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 Oh, okay. Oh, okay. He gets to do some research. And here we go. Hmm. Uh, uh, just to let you know, to run is basically on a controller. Uh, B, if you're playing on something else, I'm trying to remember what it is. But here is pretty much everything in the castle. And when you get down here, uh, how? Hmm. Yeah, Cyrus. Hmm. Hmm. All right. Hmm. Of course you are. All right. Hmm. All right. We can head back in, and from here, grab some treasures. All right. Just to show you the stuff that we picked up. We got one healing grape, your basic healing item. Uh, I believe it heals. Actually, I can't even remember. Heals H. This one heals HP. The Inspiring Pizza Plum that we picked up heals your SP, which is how you cast spells, of course, as well as any skill. Um, Olive of Life is basically your Phoenix Down from like Final Fantasy. Um, there's multiple different ones, so eventually there is one that heals both HP and SP, or revives and does that. Orb of Awakening, basically your way of curing being put to sleep. Cyrus has a staff. Yeah, staff, like I said, physically not great at first. There are staffs that are more physical than elemental, but for the most part, you're going to be using Cyrus to basically hit on the magic side. For the most part. Of course, he has his ordinary hat, which does both defenses, more so on elemental, but also gives a boost to his elemental attack. And then, of course, you're just a common robe. Every character has access to certain ones. And as you can see, swords, pole arms, daggers, axes, bows, and staffs are the weapons in this, and I do believe the second game. There's a few new ones in the third. You for the armaments or your defense, we have shields, which right now we have none. Hats, body, into accessories. We'll dive into those later. From there, let's grab this, which is a consumable item. We'll cast lightning on an enemy, or all enemies, and we could talk to the little boy. Right. And this is the Royal Palace. So let's head out. to the palace gates. And this over here is the library. Well, we'll talk to you and save here. We'll go for a little longer. That's the practice one was doing, at least for him. And I guess to show you, this area is going to be a dungeon. Most dungeons are either going to look like this or other icons. This is down here will be to the town, which most of the time that will depict somewhere that you will not be fighting, and will have like that will have either like story relevance or something else. Now let's go to the Royal Academy. Just look around. Don't think we're going to be talking to anyone in here, but we can look. Oh, we could talk to the headmaster. That seems about it. And that was the academy. I guess we can go off to... oh, let's see if we can actually go to town. Yes, we can. Royal Palace. Here's the tavern. For the most part, when taking on any other chapter for other characters, there'll be someone here that you can talk to and basically put them in your party, as well as end up doing other stuff with. As you can see, we can actually buy some stuff here, but for the most part, I suggest not doing so, because he can't use axes. The light stuff is decent. It will increase his magic attack, which is kind of nice. But we're going to probably end up waiting and doing both this and a round shield for him, as well as the pointy, more than likely the pointy hat, and the linen robe, which gives him more elemental attack. But until then, let's go up and go onwards into the library. I don't know what that is. Of course. No. Cyrus. Oh, Cyrus. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. 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 Okay. Of course. No surprise. Of course. Oh boy. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. And from there, we'll save and we'll call it there. Hope everyone enjoyed. This was Arc Sage Yvonne. And remember, have fun.